Hello students. So today we will continue our NCERT chapter 7, that is alcohol, phenols and ethers. And today is the theory part 4. So this is the disclaimer. Now what is the objective of today's lecture? So after attending today's lecture, you will be able to understand the topics which we will cover today. So the objective is that today we will see the preparation method of alcohols. We will see that how we are going to prepare alcohols from carbonyl compounds or from alkenes or from Grignard reagents. So one by one we will see all these preparation methods of alcohols. Now for your reference, I have mapped the NCERT sections that I am going to cover today. So today we will cover section 7.4, that is alcohols and phenols. And the subtopic which we will cover today is 7.4.1, that is preparation of alcohols. And we will also solve NCERT example questions, question number 7 and 8. And we will also solve an example 7.2. Okay students, so let's begin with today's lecture. So we will start that how are we going to prepare alcohols. So we will see certain methods by which we can prepare alcohols. So let us look at those methods. So first we are going to prepare alcohols from alkenes. That is, we will take alkenes and we will see that our end product will be alcohol. So the method which we are going to follow is hydration. So when I say the word hydration, what comes to your mind? Something may be related to water. So let me give you an example. Whenever it is summers, it is preferred that you drink a lot of water. Why? To stay hydrated. So that is what is hydration. Whenever you are using the water in a reaction or adding the water to the reaction, it is hydration. And in this reaction, we will also add H+, that is acid, which acts as your catalyst. So this is the hydration. Next is hydroboration oxidation. In this hydroboration oxidation, we will see that how your alkene, from alkene we have formed alcohols. Next we are going to prepare our alcohols from the carbonyl compounds. So we will see that how by reduction of aldehydes, ketones, esters and carboxylic acid we can prepare the alcohols. So we will see that how the C double bond O is reduced and it is forming alcohols. Next is from Grignard reagents. So we will see the reaction with aldehyde, ketones and esters. So first method which we will discuss is from alkenes. So the first thing is acid catalyzed hydration. So acid catalyzed hydration, what does this mean? Means in this particular reaction, we are going to use water and acid is used. And that acid acts as a catalyst. So whenever we are using a catalyst in any reaction, so what is the function of catalyst? First of all, the catalyst do not gets consumed when it forms the reactants to products. So that means whenever you're forming the reactants to products, the catalyst helps you to speed up the reaction. But it itself does not get consumed in the reaction. So what will happen? Your alkenes, they will react with water in the presence of an acid catalyst. Means acid will act as a catalyst in this reaction. So these acids are given to you, that is H2SO4 and H3PO4. So basically you will take alkene, it will react with water in presence of an acid catalyst. This is acid catalyst hydration. Now this reaction will follow Markovnikov's addition. Further we will see that what does this thing means? Markovnikov's addition. Next, we will see that nucleophile will attach to the doubly bonded carbon which has less number of hydrogen atoms. Okay, so these are the steps that we are going to follow in this process. So one by one, we will discuss all the 3 steps so it will be clear to you. So first, let's see what basically happens in this reaction. So look, this is a alkene and this is an unsymmetrical alkene. Okay, this is not a symmetrical alkene. When I talk about symmetrical alkene, then if this is double bond, then on right side as well as on left side, the groups are same. But here it is an unsymmetrical alkene. So when I talk about acid catalyst hydrogen, so see here your alkene will react with water and in presence of an acid which acts as a catalyst. So what will happen? Your water will get attached to this alkene. That is one hydrogen and one OH. Now the thing is that to which carbon my hydrogen will attach and to which carbon my OH group will attach. So for this we follow Markovnikov's addition. So what does the Markovnikov addition says? It says that the carbon where there are less number of hydrogen, to that carbon the OH group will attach, and to the carbon which has more number of hydrogens, to that carbon the hydrogen group will attach. So look at this unsymmetrical alkene. To this carbon there is only one hydrogen. That is, this carbon has less number of hydrogens. So to this carbon your OH group will attach. So look on the product side. To this carbon your OH group gets attached. And I said to the carbon where there are more number of hydrogen atoms, hydrogen gets attached. So see, this carbon has 2 hydrogen atoms. So to this carbon you see one hydrogen is getting attached. So this is your alkene, and we saw that water reacts with this alkene in presence of an acid and it forms an alcohol. So alkene is forming alcohol. So this is, I told you that how from your reactant you can write the product. But in upcoming slide, we will see the mechanism of this reaction, that what steps we followed to get an alcohol from the alkene. But now whenever I'm talking about symmetrical alkene, see, in unsymmetrical alkene, it is the thing that to which carbon your hydrogen gets attached and to which carbon your OH groups gets attached. But when it is an example of a symmetrical alkene, so both sides are same. So you can attach hydrogen or OH group to any of the carbon. So if this is a symmetrical alkene, I can attach to the hydrogen or OH group to any of the carbon. So see, this is a alkene and the water reacts with this alkene in presence of an acid, and you can see the alcohol is formed. To this carbon hydrogen gets attached and to this carbon OH gets attached. Okay, so in case of symmetrical alkene, you do not need to think that to which carbon I have to attach hydrogen and to which carbon I have to attach OH group. Now look at one more example. This is also an unsymmetrical alkene. This is propene. 3 carbon atoms and 1 double bond. So this is propene. So this is again an unsymmetrical alkene. So when this alkene reacts with water in presence of acid, alcohol is formed. Now again it will follow Markovnikov's addition. So to the carbon where there are less number of hydrogens, OH will attach. Now look at these 2 carbons. This carbon has 1 hydrogen and this carbon has 2 hydrogen. So this carbon there are less number of hydrogen. So to this carbon your OH group will attach. And to this carbon where there are more hydrogen, the hydrogen group will attach. So see, at this carbon your OH group is attached and to this carbon 1 hydrogen is attached. So it formed an alcohol. Now what is the name of this alcohol? 3 carbon atoms are involved. There are 3 carbon atoms. So the root word is propane. And at second carbon your hydroxyl group is attached. So propane 2-ol. Okay, so this is how from alkene we prepared alcohol by acid catalyzed hydration. Now let us see the mechanism of this reaction. So first see step number 1. Step number 1 is protonation of alkene. That is the formation of a carbocation intermediate by abstraction of hydrogen atom by C double bond C. Now let us see this. What is this protonation of alkene? See, I will try to explain you this mechanism in a form of a story so that it is more clear to you. Now first we have water, and this is your H plus, that is proton. Now this H plus, that is this proton, is highly reactive and it is a very unstable species. So whenever this proton sees a water, it gets attached to that water and it forms H3O plus. And this here H3O plus is a hydronium ion. So since this is a very reactive and unstable species, when it saw water, it gets attached to the water and formed the hydronium ion. Okay. Now in this mechanism of acid catalyzed hydration, we were studying about alkene, that how alkene forms alcohol. So see, we took a symmetrical alkene. Now to this alkene, I reacted it with hydronium ion, that is H3O plus. So see this oxygen, and it has 3 hydrogen atoms. Now how many valence electrons does oxygen have? 6. So see, it has formed 3 bonds with hydrogen, 1, 2, 3, 1 lone pair and 1 this positive charge. Now this oxygen is not liking the positive charge on itself. Okay, so this oxygen will say to this hydrogen, look at the cursor on the screen. So this oxygen will say to this hydrogen that I'm going to take your shared pair of electrons, because this oxygen is electronegative. So it has the capability of taking the shared pair of electrons from this hydrogen. So this oxygen will say to this hydrogen that I am more electronegative, so I can take your shared pair of electrons. So what will happen? This oxygen is going to take its shared pair of electrons from this hydrogen and form water. See here, H2O is formed. And this hydrogen is left alone. Now someone has to come to rescue this hydrogen. So alkene will come. Alkene will say to hydrogen, don't worry, I will help you. Now see, this alkene has double bond. Double bond, that means pi bond is there. And whenever there is pi bond, in pi bond, the electrons are loosely held. So this pi bond can easily break. We all know that in a pi bond, the electrons are loosely bound. So the pi bond can easily break. So this alkene will say to this hydrogen that I will help you. So this carbon will donate its electron to this hydrogen. So see, what will happen in step 2? It is nucleophilic attack of water. So first see that the double bond of this alkene gets breaked because it is sharing its electron with this hydrogen. It is giving its electron to this hydrogen. So see, this double bonds get break and this hydrogen gets attached to this carbon. And this carbon attains a positive charge because here the carbon is forming only 3 bonds. So a positive charge develops on this carbon. Okay, so is this step clear? That your oxygen, being more electronegative, takes the shared pair of electron and it forms water. And your alkene, it has pi electrons, so it will give its electrons to hydrogen and form the bond with this hydrogen. Okay. Now what will happen? Whenever any species is positive charge, we say it is a cation. And whenever we talk in terms of carbon, if on carbon there is a positive charge, we say it is a carbocation. So this is what? A carbocation. Now who will get attracted to this carbocation? One which will have a negative charge or one which will have electron pairs to donate? So what is that thing called? It is a nucleophile. So nucleophile, it has the electrons to donate So here in the step 2, we will see the nucleophilic attack. So in this, who will act as a nucleophile? Water, because oxygen has lone pairs, so it can donate its electrons to this carbon. So donation of lone pair of oxygen atoms to water, to carbocation. So oxygen having the lone pair, it will donate its lone pair to this carbon. So this is what it is written, that donation of lone pair of oxygen atom of water to carbocation. So oxygen will donate its lone pair to this carbon, and you see this structure, that to this carbon your water gets attached. Okay, so this is the structure. So step 2 we saw protonation of alkene, and in step 2 we saw nucleophilic attack of water. So now you can see this alcohol is formed, but this is not a neutral alcohol. Here positive charge is there. So now look at step number 3. The step number 3 is deprotonation. Deprotonation means we will abstract the hydrogen atom by water to regenerate the hydronium ion and alcohol. Since in this your acid is acting as a catalyst, so I told your catalyst do not get consumed in the reaction. So you will see the hydronium ion which we used in the starting will get regenerate. So now see what will happen. This was your alcohol. Now this water will take the hydrogen from this alcohol, and now it will form a neutral alcohol. So this is deprotonation. So this water molecule will abstract your hydrogen, and you will see this alcohol is formed, and the hydronium ion is regenerated. So this is the mechanism of acid catalyzed hydration. That is, from your alkenes I formed my alcohols. Is it clear? I think it is clear now. Okay, in step number 1 we saw that your H3O plus will attack on the alkene. Okay, and in step 2 we will see that how your nucleophile attacks. And step 3 there is deprotonation. So this was the mechanism. Now second one is hydroboration oxidation. So in previous slide we prepared how we will prepare my alkene from, how I will prepare my alcohols from alkenes by acid catalyzed hydration. In this method, this is a hydroboration oxidation. Now let us see what does this hydroboration oxidation means. So hydroboration first means that here your borane or diborane will react with alkene, and they will keep on adding. Your diborane and alkene will keep on adding, and they will form the addition product, that is trialkyl borane. That addition product will be trialkyl borane. And then we will see that there is oxidation in which we are going to use hydrogen peroxide in presence of a strong base like NaOH, sodium hydroxide. So let us see the mechanism. It will be more clear what I have said right now. So first of all, it is an indirect method of alkene. Now this point I will explain when I will tell you the mechanism. At that stage, it will be more clear what this line means. So here the product which is formed is anti-Markovnikov's product. Okay, that is, it is opposite to Markovnikov's. Now this reaction, hydroboration oxidation, occurs in 2 steps, as I told you right now. So step number 1 will be hydroboration with boron or diboron. Okay, boron is BH3 and diboron is B2H6. And step number 2 will be oxidation using hydrogen peroxide in presence of a strong base, that is NaOH. So look at this particular example. This is a propene because 3 carbon atoms are there and there is 1 double bond. So here hydroboration oxidation reaction is taking place. You can see first here diboron, and then there is oxidation with hydrogen peroxide and a strong base. So from this alkenes, your alcohol is formed, that is propanol. Now I said that in this hydroboration oxidation, anti-Markovnikov product is formed. Anti-Markovnikov means, in this case, your OH group will get attached to the carbon which has more hydrogen, and your hydrogen will get attached to that carbon where there are less hydrogen. So it is just opposite of Markovnikovs. In Markovnikovs, what we did, that we attached the OH group to the carbon where there are less number of hydrogen. So if this is the case propene, so according to Markovnikov, we used to attach OH to this carbon because this carbon has only one hydrogen, and we attach hydrogen to this carbon because it has more hydrogen. But this is not the case in hydroboration oxidation. It is anti-Markovnikov. So in this case, I will attach my OH group to this carbon where there are more hydrogen. So this carbon has two hydrogen. So look, I have attached my OH group to this carbon. And to this carbon where there are less number of hydrogen, my hydrogen will get attached. So see here, hydrogen is attached, that is CH2. So propanol is formed. Okay, so you can see here 3 is written. That is because in this trialkyl is formed. Okay, now let us see the mechanism of this particular reaction. So step number 1. In step number 1, what will happen? Your alkene, in this case your propene is a alkene, it will react with diborane or borane to form trialkyl borane. That means it will form tripropyl borane. Tri because here 3 alkyls are formed. So this is trialkyl borane. Your trialkyl will get attached to a borane. And in this case, if we are taking example of propene, so tripropyl borane is formed. Now look at the first step. This is a propene and this is a diborane. Now if you look at this boron, then the octet of this boron is not complete. If I talk about the total number of electrons this boron has, then it has 5 electrons. And in valence shell, it has 3 electrons. That is 2 electrons in S and 1 in P. So it has vacant 2 orbital. That means this borane's it has empty orbital, so it's need electrons. And this propene is here to give its electron to borane. Why? Because in this propene, there is a double bond. If this is a double bond, it is loosely bounded because this is pi electrons. So this can easily break. So borane was needed, borane wants some electrons, and propene is ready to share its electron with borane. So what will happen? This double bond will get break and it will give its electron to this borane. So now see, monopropyl borane is formed. You will see that this alkyl group, that is CH3, CH2, CH2, it will get attached to this BH2 group. So your BH2 will get attached to this carbon and a hydrogen will get attached to this carbon. So monopropyl borane is formed. But look here again. Here also the borane octet is not complete, because here also your borane is bonded with 3 atoms only, 2 H2 group, 2 hydrogen and 1 with the CH2. So now further it wants someone to give its electrons. So again what I am going to do, I am going to add more alkene. Okay, so this is monopropyl borane. I will add more alkene. I 2 times added this alkene and I got tripropyl borane. So this was the monopropyl borane. I added the alkene here 2. That is 2 times I added this alkene and I got this tripropyl borane. That means 3 alkyl groups I am getting. Now look from the starting. If I look, then here there was only 1 alkyl group and the borane was bonded with 2 hydrogen. Now if I add 2 alkenes over here, I will see that I have got 3 alkyl group and here borane is only left. No hydrogen is left with borane. So that is hydrogen. So if I talk, then we will see that alkyl group is increasing and the hydrogen on this borane is decreasing. Okay, so this I said that in first step trialkyl borane will be formed. So you will see that with this borane your trialkyl group is attached. Now what will happen in step 2? Since in this mechanism, it takes place in 2 steps. So in step 2, trialkyl borane, it will oxidize to alcohol using hydrogen peroxide in presence of a strong base. So you will see that your tripropyl borane, it's getting oxidized to alcohol. See, from tripropyl borane, we are getting propanol. And it is done using hydrogen peroxide in presence of a base. So you will get a propanol and you will get BOS whole thrice. So see, from this particular alkene, we got a alcohol, that is propanol. Now I told you in first slide that it is an indirect addition of water. Indirect addition, look at the first step. Here it is propene, here it is alcohol. That means we have added water in this reaction, that is hydrogen and one OH group. But can you see that we are directly adding the water to this reaction? When we talked about acid catalyzed in the previous one, we saw that to the alkene we were reacting it with, or we were adding the water. So there was direct addition of water. But in this particular reaction, you will notice that we are not adding the water directly, but still at the product we are attaching one hydrogen and one OH group, because in this particular reaction we are getting one hydrogen from this borane or diborane and we are getting the OH group from this hydrogen peroxide. So that means we are indirectly getting the hydrogen from diborane or borane, and I am getting OH group indirectly from this hydrogen peroxide. So that means it is an indirect addition of water. So I hope now this point is clear what is indirect addition of water. And since it is anti-Markovnikov's product, so you will see that the hydrogen will get attached to the carbon. The hydrogen will get attached to your carbon where there are more number of hydrogens. Okay. So this is your product, that is propanol. Now we will see from carbonyl compounds. So here we are going to prepare the alcohols from my carbonyl compounds. So carbonyl compounds which contains your carbonyl group. Carbonyl group is C double bond O. So first we will see by reduction of aldehydes and ketones that I am going to reduce my aldehydes and ketones to alcohols. So whenever I'm going to reduce my aldehydes, so aldehydes are reduced to primary alcohols and ketones are reduced to secondary alcohols. So you need to remember this point. Whenever you are taking aldehydes, it is getting reduced to primary alcohol, and whenever you are getting ketone, it is reduced to secondary alcohols. Now in this, let us see the reducing agents. So first is catalytic hydrogenation. That there will be hydrogenation, that we are going to add the hydrogen in the presence of a catalyst. Now that catalyst can be platinum, palladium or nickel. It can be any catalyst. That is, hydrogen is added in the presence of catalyst. Now let us see the reaction. So this is a aldehyde which has this carbonyl group C double bond O. So aldehyde in presence of hydrogen and catalyst. This is a catalytic hydrogen. So in presence of hydrogen and a catalyst, which we have taken PD over here, palladium, it is getting reduced to alcohol. See, this CHO group, which is aldehyde group, is getting reduced to this alcohol group. And I said whenever we are talking about aldehyde, aldehyde will be reduced to primary alcohols. Now see, primary alcohols, the carbon to which your OH group is attached is only further connected by one carbon. So this carbon is further connected by one carbon only. So this is a primary alcohol. So aldehyde is getting reduced to primary alcohol by catalytic hydrogenation. Next, see this ketone. This is a ketone group, that is C double bond O. Now this ketone by catalytic hydrogenation is getting reduced to secondary alcohol. As I told, ketones will reduce to secondary alcohols. So see, this ketone, that C double bond O carbonyl group, is getting reduced to alcohol. and this is a secondary alcohol because the carbon to which your OH group is attached is further connected by other carbon atoms, by other two carbon atoms. One is this and one is this. Here this is 1R and here it is 1R dash. So this carbon is further connected by two other carbons. So this is a secondary alcohol. So your aldehydes will get reduced to primary alcohols and your ketones will get reduced to secondary alcohol. Now next we are going to use sodium borohydride. So let us see the reaction how we are going to use sodium borohydride. So your aldehydes can get reduced to alcohols using sodium borohydride also. In earlier case we saw by catalytic hydrogenation. So if you are adding sodium borohydride, so this aldehyde will get reduced to your alcohol. Because it is aldehyde, so it will form primary alcohol. This carbon is only connected further by one carbon. And this ketone you will see using sodium borohydride, it gets reduced to secondary alcohol. So you can use sodium borohydride, or in the previous one we saw using catalytic hydrogenation. Now next we are going to use lithium aluminum hydride, that is LiAlH4. So let us see the reaction. So this aldehyde is again reduced to primary alcohol using lithium aluminum hydride. And you will see that this ketone is again reduced to secondary alcohol using lithium aluminum hydride. So you will see that either you can use sodium borohydride or you can use lithium aluminum hydride. So they will reduce your alcohols into, they will reduce your aldehyde to primary alcohols and ketones to secondary alcohol. Now we will see reduction of carboxylic acid. In previous slides we saw reduction of aldehydes and ketones. Now we will see carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid, which is the group C double bond O OH. So carboxylic acids are reduced to primary alcohols by strong reducing agents. So lithium aluminum hydride is a very strong reducing agent. So your carboxylic acid will get reduced to primary alcohols. Now this lithium aluminum hydride is a very expensive reagent. Okay. So acids, so whenever we have to convert the carboxylic acid to our alcohols, I have to reduce the carboxylic acid to alcohols. Since lithium aluminum hydride is a very strong, it is a strong reducing agent, but it is a very expensive reagent. Okay, so if I have to prepare it commercially, what I will do, that first my acids are converted to esters. Ester group is C double bond O OR. So first my acid is converted to esters and then my esters are reduced to alcohols by catalytic hydrogenation. That is hydrogen in the presence of a catalyst. Okay, so this is an alternative if we have to prepare it commercially, because this is a very expensive reagent, lithium aluminum hydride. So see this reaction, this is a carboxylic acid. We'll use lithium aluminum hydride. It is a very strong reducing agent. And we will see that that water is also used in this reaction, H2O. So water is also used in this reaction, and by using this reducing agent, I have reduced my carboxylic acid to alcohols. And the carboxylic acids are reduced to primary alcohols. So this is another method. As I told, this lithium aluminum hydride is a very expensive reagent. So first see, I have converted my carboxylic acid to ester group. So this C double CO OH group is formed COOR group. That this carboxylic acid is first converted to esters, and then there is catalytic hydrogenation of this ester, that H2, and there is a catalyst that can be palladium, platinum or nickel. So this is catalytic hydrogenation. Using the catalytic hydrogenation, I have reduced my ester group to alcohol group. Now see here, two alcohols are formed. One is this and one is this. So you have to keep this thing, that to which OH this R dash group is getting attached and to which OH this R group is getting attached. So here two products of alcohols are formed. Now if we talk about reduction of esters, as we discussed, as esters, they can be reduced to alcohols by catalytic hydrogenation. So it produces 2 moles of alcohols. So this is the reaction here, esters, it is reduced to alcohol using catalytic hydrogenation. And you can see that esters, it can also reduced to alcohols using lithium aluminum hydride. You can use lithium aluminum hydride and it will reduce your alcohol, it will reduce your esters to alcohols. And here 2 molecules of alcohols are formed. One is this and one is this. To one, this R group is attached, and to one, this R dash group is attached. So here 2 molecules of alcohols are formed. So this is the reduction of carboxylic acid and reduction of esters. We saw that carboxylic acid can be reduced to alcohols using a strong reducing agent. Now because this LiLS4 is quite expensive, so first your carboxylic acid is converted to esters, and then by catalytic hydrogenations, your esters is reduced to alcohols. And in the case of esters, we saw that your esters is reduced to alcohol using catalytic hydrogenation or by lithium aluminum hydride. Now NaBH4, that is sodium borohydride, it cannot reduce acids and esters. Why? Because it is a mild oxidizing agent. If I have to reduce acid and esters, I need a strong reducing agent like lithium aluminum hydride. Sodium borohydride cannot serve this purpose because it is a mild oxidizing agent. Now next we are going to talk about from Grignard reagents, that how we will prepare alcohols from Grignard reagent. So when I talk about Grignard reagents, it is RMGX. So Grignard reagents react with carbonyl compounds and form adduct. Adduct means a addition product is formed. That is your carbonyl group and your Grignard reagents addition product will formed. That is an adduct is formed. And then there is hydrolysis of this adduct that yields an alcohols. Hydrolysis means, hydro means water, lysis means breakdown. So whenever you are breaking any compound using water, it is hydrolysis. So first an adduct will be formed and then there will be hydrolysis of this adduct. So if we are doing the reaction with formaldehyde, first we are doing it with formaldehyde. So your Grignard reagent RMGX, it will react with formaldehyde and it will give a adduct. That means there will be addition product of this formaldehyde and your Grignard reagent. And hydrolysis of this adduct gives a primary alcohol. So whenever you are using formaldehyde, it will give you a primary alcohol. Okay. Now look at this. This is a formaldehyde, and when you are using this Grignard reagent, an adduct is formed. We will see its mechanism in upcoming slides. So this adduct is formed and then there is hydrolysis of this adduct and your alcohol is formed. And whenever you are using formaldehyde, your primary alcohol will formed. Okay, primary alcohol because the carbon to which your OH is attached is further connected by one carbon only. So this is from Grignard reagents we prepared alcohols. That first, and this is an adduct which is formed, and then there is hydrolysis of this adduct and you get your primary alcohol. Now the Grignard reagent reacts with aldehydes. So I told you if it reacts with formaldehyde, then it gives primary alcohol. But if it reacts with other aldehydes other than formaldehydes to give a adduct. So whenever it will react with other aldehydes, it will give a secondary alcohol. So your hydrolysis of that adduct will give a secondary alcohol. In case of formaldehyde, we were getting primary alcohol, but if you are using any other aldehyde except formaldehyde, you will get a secondary alcohol. So see the reaction, this is formaldehyde, this is Grignard reagent, this is your adduct which is formed, and you are doing hydrolysis and you'll get the secondary alcohol. See, we will discuss the mechanism, but let us see how if this is given to you, you can write your products. So see, this is RCH, so that it is aldehyde, and this is Grignard reagent. So see, the adduct will be formed. To this carbon, one this R groups is getting attached and one this R dash group will attach to this carbon. Okay, so look at this carbon. One this R group is getting attached and one this R dash group is getting attached. And here it is OMgX group, that this O and this MgX. Then there is hydrolysis. When there is hydrolysis, so this adduct will break. So what will happen? So here your MgX will take the OH group and this remaining will take the hydrogen. So see, this MgX will take your OH group and it will form MgOHX, and the remaining, the CH and 2 R and R dash group and O, this remaining adduct will attach to this hydrogen. So this is the product. This is secondary alcohol and this is MgOHX. Now whenever you are using ketone, we saw that in formaldehyde 1 degree a primary alcohol is formed. If we are using any other aldehyde except formaldehyde, then secondary alcohol is formed. But if we are using ketone, then in ketones tertiary alcohols will be formed. Now look, this is a ketone with R, C double bond to R. So see, this is adduct is formed. To this carbon, this R group and this R dash group is getting attached. And what is left? This OMgX. So this OMgX is adduct. Now you will do hydrolysis. So I told you this OH groups get attached to this MgX and this hydrogen gets attached to the remaining adduct. So see here, 3 degree alcohol is formed. That is tertiary alcohol is formed. See, this carbon is further connected by other 3 carbons. So this is a tertiary alcohol. Now let us see the mechanism, that how this particular steps was happening. So look at the first step. Now this is again a carbonyl group. Now again oxygen is electronegative. Now since it is electronegative, it can withdraw the shared pair of electrons towards itself. Okay. So now see over here. Here I have RMgX group. So here magnesium, since this magnesium is a metal, it will have electropositive nature. So here on this a partial positive charge will be there on this magnesium, because it is a metal, it will have a electropositive nature. And to this R, you can see this delta S is there. Okay, now this is a carbonyl. Now in carbonyl your oxygen is more electronegative. So here it will have a negative charge, this oxygen will develop a negative charge and this carbon will develop a positive charge. So now you will see that because this R, it has a delta negative, so this R will get attached to this carbon which was having a positive charge. And since this oxygen is having a delta negative, so your magnesium will get attached to this oxygen because it is having a partial positive charge. So this is happening and an adduct is formed. So you can see to this oxygen MgX group is getting attached, because here your magnesium is an electropositive nature, so it will get attached, this positive charge will get attracted to this negative charge on oxygen, and it is having negative charge, this negative charge will get attracted to this positive carbon, positively charged carbon, because oxygen being more electronegative will withdraw the electron density. So you will see your pi bond will break, your carbon will get attached to this R group and your oxygen will get attached to this MgX group. So this is a adduct is formed, that is the addition product of this carbonyl and this Grignard reagent. Now next what will happen? Hydrolysis. Hydrolysis means breakdown of this adduct using water. So in H2O, so to this MgX I told OH group will get attached. Look, this Mg is having a positive charge and water will break into H plus and OH minus. So OH minus has a negative charge. So this negative charge will get attracted to this positive charge. So remember I told you that the OH group will get attached to this MgX. So see here your OH group is getting attached to this MgX. And here your oxygen has negative charge. So your H plus will get attracted to this oxygen and oxygen will get attached here. So you can see here that your carbonyl group is reduced to this alcohol using the Grignard's reagent, and you have this MgOHX. So this was the adduct is formed by addition reaction, by addition of these two, and then there is hydrolysis and you will get the alcohol. So this was how from Grignard reagents you are getting your alcohols. Now we will solve some questions. So this is example 7.2. So you have to give the structures and IUPAC names of the products that is expected from the following reactions. So these reactions are given to you. You have to give the structures and the IUPAC name, whatever the products will be formed from this reaction. So first is catalytic reduction of butanol. Next is hydration of propene in the presence of H2SO4. And next is reaction of propanol with methyl magnesium bromide, which is followed by hydrolysis. So I'm giving you 20 seconds. You solve this question and then we will discuss it. Okay, now let us see the solution. Now first is catalytic reduction of butanol. So butanol, it is an aldehyde. So this aldehyde will get reduced to alcohol. So it is catalytic reduction. That means a catalyst is involved. Look at the name, catalytic reduction of butanol. So your aldehyde is reduced to alcohol in a presence of a catalyst. So look at the reaction. So this is your butanol, 3 carbon atoms because butane and 1 aldehyde group. So in the presence of a catalyst, that is hydrogenation, that is H2 and a catalyst. So it will be reduced to this alcohol. You can see this alcohol. So this your aldehyde group is getting reduced to alcohol. Now you have to write the IUPAC name. So see here 4 carbon atoms are involved. So when 4 carbon atoms are involved, the root word is butane. And since your OH group is attached to first carbon, you will do numbering from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. So to the first carbon, your OH group is attached. So butane 1 all. Okay. So your product is primary alcohol. Okay. Now see, this is a parent chain which has 4 carbons. So it will be butane. If you see the substituent, then on first carbon, your hydroxyl group is attached. So the IUPAC name will be butane 1 all. Okay. And this is a primary alcohol. Primary alcohol, you can see that this carbon to which your OH is attached is further connected by 1 carbon only. Now let us see the second part. Hydration of propene in presence of H2SO4. So this is what reaction? It is acid catalyzed reaction because this is a propene. It is an alkene. So to alkene, you are adding water, hydration. Hydration of propene means you are reacting alkene with water in presence of an acid. And this acid acts as a catalyst. It speeds up the rate of your reaction. So you will first take a alkene, that is a propene, and this propene in presence of acid, it will form an alcohol and it will follow Markovnikov's rule. So this carbon where there are less number of hydrogen, your OH group will attach. So to this carbon, your OH group will attach, and to this carbon where there are more hydrogen, your hydrogen will get attached. So this is the structure which you get. Remember, this will follow Markovnikov's rule. Your hydroboration oxidation was according to anti-Markovnikov's rule. This is acid catalyzed hydration. So this will follow Markovnikov's rule. Now if we'll see the name of the structure, then see this is the parent chain has 3 carbon atoms. So the root word will be propane. And on second carbon, a hydroxyl group is there. So the name will be propane 2 all. To this carbon, second carbon, your OH group is attached. So propane 2 all. So in this you can see you are getting a secondary alcohol because this carbon is further attached to 2 other carbons. So this is a secondary alcohol. Now let us see the third part. Reaction of propanone with methyl magnesium bromide followed by hydrolysis. So see, this is propanone. That is, it is a ketone with methyl magnesium bromide. Methyl magnesium bromide, it is a Grignard reagent followed by hydrolysis. In Grignard reagent only RMGX, we were doing the hydrolysis. That means hydro means water and lysis means breaking. You are breaking the compound in presence of water. So this is an example of Grignard reagent. So this is your propanone. Propanone, 3 carbon atoms are there, and this is your ketone. So C double bond O and 2 methyl groups are attached, and this is methyl magnesium bromide, Grignard reagent. Now I told you that on this carbon, because this oxygen is more electronegative, it will withdraw the electron density. So here it will be delta negative and here it will be delta positive. And here magnesium is a metal, so it will have a electropositive nature. So here magnesium will have a delta positive charge. So this positive will get attracted to this negative on oxygen. So your MgBr group C gets attached to the oxygen, and here your CH3 has a delta negative charge. So this negative charge will get attracted to this positive charge on carbon. So your CH3 methyl group will get attached to this carbon and adduct is formed. That is addition product. Now there will be hydrolysis. I told when there is hydrolysis, so hydrolysis means water H2O, it forms H plus and OH minus. So your H plus will get attached to this O negative. So it will form OH, and your OH minus will get attached to this positive Mg. So one this alcohol is formed and other MgOHBr. So this is a tertiary alcohol. See, this carbon is further connected by other 3 carbons. So this is a tertiary alcohol. I told you whenever there is ketone, in the case of Grignard reagent, your ketone will form tertiary alcohol. So the product is a tertiary alcohol. So if we are taking this as your parent chain, 1, 2, 3, so 3 carbon atoms. So the root word is propane, and to second carbon your 1 methyl group and 1 hydroxyl group is attached. So the name will be 2 methyl propane 2-ol. At second carbon this methyl group and this OH group. So this is the IUPAC name, 2 methyl propane 2-ol. So I hope this is clear. Now this structure is given to you. You have to write the IUPAC name of this structure. So follow the IUPAC nomenclature and give the IUPAC name to this compound. You have 20 seconds to solve. Okay, let us see the solution. So the correct answer is option C. That is 5-chlorohexane 2-ol. Let us see how. So this is your longest carbon chain. That is having 6 carbon atoms. So how, from where you will do the numbering? I said you always do the numbering from that side so that the carbon to which your hydroxyl group is attached gets the least possible number. So you will do the numbering from this side, from right hand side, so that this carbon to which your OH is attached gets the least number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So your parent chain has 6 carbon atom. So the root word is hexane. Now see the substituents. Your chlorine is attached at the 5th position and your hydroxyl is attached at the 2nd position. So I said whenever you are writing substituents, you write it according to alphabetical order. Whatever letter comes first, its name will be written first. So chloro, C of chloro comes first. Okay, sorry, C of chloro comes first. So you will write 5-chlorohexane 2-ol. At your second carbon, your hydroxyl group is attached. So the name will be 5-chlorohexane 2-ol. Okay. Now, what is the IUPAC name of M-cresol? So M-cresol is a common name. What will be the IUPAC name of the cresol? We studied when we were studying about phenols. So you try to think for the correct option. I'll give you 25 seconds. So let us see the solution. M-cresol. So this is a case of a phenol because 3-methylphenol is the correct answer. This is a case of the substituted phenol. So 3-methylphenol is a IUPAC name, and the common name for this 3-methylphenol is metacresol. So this is the structure of metacresol. It is a substituted phenol. See, this CH3 is meta to this OH because this is ortho position, this is meta position, and this is para position. So since this CH3 is meta to this OH group, so it is metacresol. This is the common name. If you do the numbering 1, 2, 3, then the carbon to which your OH is attached is the first carbon. Why? Because OH functional groups gets the first priority. So this will be 1, 2, and this will be 3. So it will be 3-methylphenol because at third position methyl is attached. So this is an example of a phenol where there is aromatic ring. The substituents are that on third carbon your methyl group is attached. So your name will be 3-methylphenol. So metacresol is the common name and 3-methylphenol is the IUPAC name. So let us summarize whatever we studied. I told you that from alkenes you can get alcohols by acid catalyzed hydration, which follows the Markovnikov's rule, and from hydroboration oxidation, in which first your alkene reacts with B2H6, which is followed by oxidation using H2O2 in presence of a strong base, and this gives anti-Markovnikov product. Next is from carbonyl compounds. We saw that aldehydes is reduced to primary alcohols, your ketones is reduced to secondary alcohols, and lithium aluminum hydride, it can reduce carboxylic acid and esters, but sodium borohydride cannot because this sodium borohydride is a mild reducing agent and this lithium one is a strong reducing agent. And whenever your esters get reduced to alcohols, 2 alcohol molecules are formed. And when you're preparing from the Grignard reagents, we saw that RMGX, it reacts with your carbonyl compounds and it forms alcohols. So your formaldehyde forms the primary alcohol, your other aldehydes form the secondary alcohol, and your ketones form the tertiary alcohol. So this is what we studied today. So thank you students. I hope you understood this lecture of preparation of alcohols.